I mean, I thought if you're a casual fan, it was a good game. But for us on this side, I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I wasn't too excited about it. I thought the first half they had a lot of energy, and I think the whole mentality going to the game was the team that got to the ball the most was going to win the game. And I think the first half they did that more than we did. In the second half we responded, but I think they had already fed off of the energy of that.
Well, I was talking to the guys here. I mean, it looked pretty bleak for a while, about halfway through, or even late into the first half. I mean, y'all were down a dozen points.
Right.
And battled back to 5.
Yeah.
And, and I also pointed out to them that y'all had forced, I can't remember how many, I think it was 10 turnovers by
Yeah.
them by halftime.
Right.
And, they ended up with 15. But, I mean, those two factors, that and shooting 3-pointers for y'all, that's what kept you in the game the whole way.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that.
I thought we did a pretty good job, towards the end of the first half and second half of creating energy and, forcing turnovers, getting out of transition a little bit. And I think early on we just settled for too many one-pass threes. And then towards the end of the half we were actually getting to the paint and then getting some fan-out threes. And I thought the ball moving a little bit more helped us create energy and get back in the game.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because probably the first 12, 14 minutes of the first half, there was a lot of jump shots.
Right,
and,
right.
And I couldn't imagine y'all being real tickled with that.
No. We were telling them we got to get downhill, and just because you get downhill doesn't mean you have to shoot it, but we got to get some penetrating and kickouts. And when we started doing that, we found we had success, but, should have done that a little bit earlier.
Well, I know it's early in the season, but it really it was an intense game.
Yeah.
And it just had the feel of a later season game.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun to watch. I understand that you see the flaws
Yeah.
and you see the good stuff. But so how is the team playing to this point?
I thought that, the first two conference game, we've improved in the area that was a big concern for us, and that was turning the ball over. We've been better with that the last two games. And, for us, I think we're continuing to get better. We just have to continue to clean up some things. And I think the biggest thing is the last two games, the first half energy hasn't been great, but we've responded in the second half. And when you're playing against good teams, sometimes that's too much. And to get back in the game, you've overexerted a lot of energy that you should have created earlier.
Has COVID had any impact on y'all so far?
Yeah, but the thing about COVID has had impact on everybody.
Well,
and yeah.
I should more say what has been the impact. Rephrase the question.
Yeah, after Christmas we had some guys go home for Christmas and they tested positive while they were home. So I think it was last week, we had about 5 guys that were still at home, like never made it back to Radford because they had tested positive. So for us, it's just trying to get the guys who are coming off COVID pause, trying to get them back in shape, but trying to get the guys that have been here practicing the whole time, trying to keep them fresh. So it's basically like the last week and a half, you've had 2 different teams that you're trying to blend together based on where they are in terms of conditioning.
Right.